Remarkably, she had the heaviest armament of any heavy cruiser in the world. In addition, the warship had a secondary armament of 8 12.7cm or 40 Type 89 naval guns in 4 twin mounts on each side, and carried 12 Type 93 long lance torpedoes and 4 triple launchers below the aircraft deck. The massive cruiser had a capacity for 3 float planes and an aircraft catapult for scouting missions. Milwaukee was launched in 1927 and commissioned 2 years later. Ready for war. Milwaukee first saw action during the Second Sino-Japanese War, serving as the flagship of Sentai 9. Afterward, she received a retrofit that would extend her service life into the 1940s. By the time World War II broke out, she and her sisters were rather old, but still capable of joining the fight. The ship had her number of torpedoes doubled to 16, and was also fitted with 8 25mm anti-aircraft guns, which would prove useful in the Pacific clashes. In the early stages of the war, Milwaukee participated in the invasion of the Philippines and the Battle of the Java Sea. Then, in March of 1942, the cruiser and her sister Ashigara sank the British heavy cruiser Exeter with help from destroyers Akabono and Inazuma. Later on, she became the flagship of the carrier strike force during Operation Mo, the attempted invasion of Port Moresby, leading the aircraft carriers Shokaku and Suikaku. She also took part in the Tulagi invasion and the subsequent Battle of the Coral Sea, resulting in a Japanese retreat and abandoning the operation in Papua New Guinea. During the epic Battle of Midway, the heavy cruiser was part of the support force and was thus deployed as an escort for the reinforcement convoy in the Aleutian Islands campaign. Then, in October 1942, she continued her reinforcement and resupply missions on Guadalcanal and the bombardment at Henderson Field when it was seized by the Americans. Milwaukee also helped evacuate Guadalcanal and Kiska before being sent to Sasebo for another refit. While there, she was equipped with newer Type 96 25mm ATAA gun mounts and a Type 21 radar set. In the summer of 1944, Milwaukee fought in the Battle of the Philippine Sea, responding to the American invasion of the Mariana Islands. Later that year, she crossed paths with the U.S. Task Force 38 and was damaged by a torpedo hit during the Battle of Leyte Gulf. Consequently, Milwaukee had to limp back to Singapore and depart for Japan. Little did she know that an encounter with USS Bergall would determine her fate. Destiny. On December 5th, 1944, USS Bergall departed Australia, bound for patrol work on the Malayan and Indochina coast. The submarine was loaded with anchored mines in her aft torpedo tubes, as her mission was to lay them off along a long reef known as the Royalist Bank. That same afternoon, Milwaukee sailed for the Japanese mainland, where she could be repaired. Accompanied by destroyer Ushio, the pair would depart sometime around December 9th. However, their departure was postponed, and Bergall was just emerging from the Lombok Strait the morning they were ready. Shortly past dawn on the 12th, the cruiser and her companion finally got underway. Making matters worse, Ushio was also damaged, so neither ship could sail much faster than about 17 knots. In the middle of the chaotic scene at the Pacific Theater in late 1944, both ships advanced slowly but surely across areas of great activity, with a slight chance that the partly operational cruiser might be suddenly called for duty. But unbeknownst to the Japanese, the stealthy U.S. submarine was just arriving to lay her cargo off at Royalist Bank. As the sun set on the 13th, Bergall was preparing to complete her mission when an unexpected radio signal came in. It meant that a powerful transmitter had to be around. Commander J.M. Hyde then looked through the periscope, and there she was, a Japanese warship at 35,000 yards heading northeast at 14 knots. The skipper swung the boat around, all 4 engines on maximum speed, and hurried to get ahead of the enemy's track. Bergall was gaining the advantage, but the engine's vibrations forced the crew to slow down. At 7:20 p.m., they finally secured a firm contact as Bergall made the position. An hour later, the target was clearly in sight, but recognizing the impending danger of assaulting a mighty heavy cruiser and her escort, Hyde and his officers held their breath. Encounter. A submerged staged approach was impossible. The waters were too shallow. And to complicate matters, Durgal's aft tubes were filled with mines, rendering them unusable. An attack could only be launched from the bow tubes. Undaunted, Hyde had his vessel run under the cover of darkening skies, hoping that the enemy's radar did not pick his own too soon. The crew then noticed a window of opportunity just as the heavy cruiser and her escort overlapped. Durgal immediately fired all bow tubes at 3,300 yards, and within seconds, the first and second torpedoes hit home, detonating into a thundering explosion.
I'm an international organization.
Miyoko stopped in her tracks, while her escort also stopped to beam. This led to the submarine's crew believing she had also been struck. Miyoko's damage was severe, with fires around the cruiser's aft turrets. However, her main body, forward of the mainmast, remained untouched, and the ship was not nearly shattered. Even so, Hyde believed the impact had been more significant. He then turned to reload for the final blow, while Ushio began setting a trap for the attacking submarine. Believing them inoperable, Durgal came in for the coup de grace, but Ushio immediately opened fire. The precise salvo tore through the forward torpedo loading trunk's hatch, piercing the submarine. Water quickly started pouring into the pressure hull. Hyde maneuvered and evaded a second pair of shells, just as Ushio snapped on a searchlight, but the submarine avoided detection. Unable to dive, Hyde fled the scene, putting as much distance between his crew and the enemy as possible. Luckily for the Americans, Ushio did not go after them. In the end, Miyoko was severely harmed, but not as much as the skipper pondered. Still able to make 6 knots, the cruiser's captain resolved.
So this motherfucker right here don't got my motherfucking money and commissions and rates and sales after taxes. This motherfucker got the nerve of the bombs on that bullshit. Nigga, stay in contiguous. You said you got the juice for kids. I can't get enough of that motherfucking cookie crisp that I'm motherfucking bittersweet. Hot soda motherfucking weed. It's so magically delicious. This motherfucker.
Tunguska on the field. Incoming Sam's. Incoming Sam's. Incoming Sam's. Good shooting. Good shooting.
They got keys all over the country. CIA, tap out phones, harassing us. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I'm talking to the FBG, holy harass, even if it's a lot. You would never care. See, I'm understanding, so you didn't tell my phone. But I'm not gonna leave me alone. Just leave me alone and stay away from my rest. Get up, look at forever. Get you like a brother trying to kill a fucking president. Never mind, see my game's tight like a bull, taking gas. My bank account full of cash. On the street, what? See, brother selling keys. Okay, see, what? Why, nigga, please? You're plotting on a player like a money hungry bitch. Oh, man, cause a nigga went from rags to riches. Let it feel like dope, cause I used to be a real shop looking for drug money. Cause now my shit's legal with some feds on it. All my dealers are the table with them feds. Cause I'm like I got more clients than cable dead fries and kick. And my dope, and put my face down on the motherfucking floor. And take me to jail, but I'm out the next day. The niggas with dollars and money. We gon' don't play. We ain't tryna to them underground. Wanna connect to the mafia and real. If I take one, every move I make, punk motherfucker, be watching. Fuck y'all. On the ride for you, you will pay too. How you get it? They were probably kidding. I'm pretty kidding. Your door. You special and still on your toes. Your door should be flashing. You don't know. Don't have to worry. They call us drug dealers, what about the police? The other day, my little homie stole a quarter key from the bag. James got my phone tapped, nigga when the phone. The homie got kidnapped, now the game is crazy. Sometimes it's hectic, makes me wanna jump in the Benz and ride up to Texas. Ball with the niggas in the country. In 1997, I'm trying to have hundreds, stack houses, buildings, living in the millions, rolling in the zillion, all ghetto children, bust out Lexus, nigga playing taxes, mansion with Ferrari, but the game is still hectic. Yeah, you got politicians on your payroll too. What would they do if them feds could only see that you got CPAs washing all your cheese? They would probably kick in your door. They would probably arrest you and steal all your dough. So you should be glad that they don't know. 'Cause now you don't have to worry. Now what if the fans only losing up the south side? Sold up, hold up, so on cola again, Coca-Cola. Now yeah, me riding in the drop top cat on the block with your block, then I roll with the cat. See, I leave it twisted like a twizzler. My house have most they call it sizzler. But they understand them now, keep a puzzle like the Rizzler. And first thing first, it first thing the worst, they never catch me in the left. I use more rental cars, it hurt, they can't understand how they have me, but I still got away. License plate, out of state, in Jamaica the next day. Ain't telling Canada, got them scanner when I was balling. It a matter, nigga, what? Now, I ain't dead away in Louisiana. That's why I stay more touchable than air, y'all. They have me tap, but that's why I'm on my phone. Get more time than air bars to the ATF and them fans. Y'all understand? I stay one step ahead if y'all only knew. I'm a big kid, in your door, in your door. How they gonna rush you and steal all your dough, steal your dough. Should be mad, they don't know. I don't have to worry. The is on.
Bada bing, bada boom.
If them feds only knew.
Okay, today I speak when we talk about USSR, Soviet Union's oppressed. Policy is policy. Policy can't be misinterpreted by the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and its ghost anonymous government, Moreno Rajoy. So we will redress a people world conflict when we talk about world powers. Well, Russia, France, China, United States, Great Britain, and Spanish text that's equally authentic. Rule is set forth. Standard minimum rules for the treatment of prisoners, adopted by the first United Nations Congress on Prevention of Crime and the Treatment of Offenders held at Geneva in 1955, and approved by the Economic and Social Council by its resolution of 31st July 1957, of 13th May 1977. In view of the great variety of legal, social, economic, and geographical conditions of the world, it is evident that not all of these rules are capable of application in all places and at all times. They should, however, serve to stimulate a constant endeavor to overcome practical difficulties in the way of their application, and the knowledge that they represent as a whole. The minimum conditions which are accepted as suitable by the United Nations. On the other hand, the rules cover a field in which thought is constantly developing. They are not intended to preclude experiment and practice, provided these are in harmony with the principles and seek to further the purpose which derive from the text of the rules. As a whole, it will always be justifiable for the Central Prison Administration to authorize departures from the rules in this spirit. Part 1 of the rules cover the general management of institutions, and it is applicable to all categories of prisoners, criminal or civil, untried or convicted, including prisoners subject to security measures or corrective measures ordered by the judge. Part 1, Rules of General Application. Basic Principles. The rules shall be applied impartially. There shall be no discrimination or grounds of race, color, sex, language, religion, political, or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. On the other hand, it is necessary to respect the religious beliefs and moral precepts of the group to which a prisoner belongs. Prisoners who are foreign nationals shall be allowed reasonable facilities to communicate with the diplomatic and consular representative of the state to which they belong. Prisoners who are nationals of states without diplomatic or consular representation in the country, and refugees or stateless persons shall be allowed similar facilities to communicate with the diplomatic representative of these states, which take charge of their interests, or any national or international authority whose task it is to protect such persons.
Transport you to your happy place. The comforting flavor of pistachio, warm espresso and milk, all with a brown buttery topping. Make today a good day.
The regime of the institution shall seek to minimize any difference between prison life and life at liberty, which tend to lessen the responsibility of the prisoners, the respect due to their dignity as human beings. Before the completion of the sentence, it is desirable that the necessary steps be taken to ensure for the prisoner a gradual return to life in society. This aim may be achieved depending on the case. by a pre-release rehab organized in the same institution or in another appropriate institution, or by release or trial under some kind of supervision, which must not be entrusted to the police, but should be combined with effective social aid. The treatment of prisoners should emphasize not their exclusion from the community, but their continuing part in it. Community agencies should therefore be enlisted wherever possible to assist the staff of the institution in the task of social rehabilitation of the prisoners. There should be, in connection with every institution, social workers charged with the duty of maintaining and improving all desirable relations of a prisoner with his family and with valuable social agencies. Steps should be taken to safeguard to the maximum extent compatible with the law and the census, the rights relating to civil interests, social security rights, and other social benefits of prisoners. The medical service of the institution shall seek to detect and shall treat any physical or mental illness or defect which may hamper a prisoner's rehabilitation. All necessary medical, surgical, and psychiatric services shall be provided to that end. The fulfillment of these principles requires individualization of treatment, and for this purpose, a flexible system of classifying prisoners in groups. It is therefore desirable that such groups should be distributed in separate institutions, suitable for the treatment of each group. These institutions need not provide the same degree of security for every group. It is desirable to provide varying degrees of security according to the needs of different groups. Open institutions, by the very fact that they provide no physical security against escape, but rely on the self-discipline of the inmates, provide the conditions most favorable to rehabilitation for carefully selected prisoners. It is desirable that the number of prisoners in closed institutions should not be so large that the individualization of treatment is hindered. In some countries, it is considered that the population of such institutions should not exceed 500. In open institutions, the population should not be as small as possible. On the other hand, it is undesirable to maintain prisons which are so small that proper facilities cannot be provided. The duty of society does not end with a prisoner's release. There should therefore be governmental or private agencies capable of lending the released prisoners efficient aftercare directed towards the lessening of prejudice against him and towards his social rehabilitation. The treatment of persons sentenced to prison or a similar measure shall have as its purpose, so far as the length of the sentence permits to establish in them the will to lead a law-abiding and self-supporting lives after their release, and to fit them to do so. The treatment shall be such as will encourage their self-respect and develop their sense of responsibility. To these ends, all appropriate means shall be used, including religious care in the countries where there is possible education, vocational guidance and training, social casework, employment counseling, physical development, and strengthening of moral competence, in accordance with the individual needs of each prisoner, taking account of his social and criminal history, his physical and mental capacities and aptitudes, his personal temperament, the length of his sentence, and his prospects after release. For every prisoner with a sentence of suitable length, the director shall receive as soon as possible after his admission full report for all the matters referred to in the foregoing paragraph. Such report shall always include a report by a medical officer. Wherever possible, qualified in psychiatry on the physical and mental condition of the prisoner. The reports and other relevant documents shall be placed in an individual file. This file shall be kept up to date and classified in such a way that it can be consulted by the responsible personnel wherever the need arises. Classification and individualization. The purpose of classification shall be to separate from others those prisoners who, by reason of their criminal record or bad character, are likely to exercise a bad influence. To divide the prisoners into classes in order to facilitate their treatment with a view to their social rehabilitation. So far as possible, separate institutions or separate sections of an institution shall be used for the treatment of the different classes of prisoners. As soon as possible after admission and after a study of the personality of each prisoner with a sentence of suitable length. A. Programming and treatment shall be prepared for him in the light of the knowledge obtained about his individual needs, his capabilities, capacities, and dispositions. System of privileges appropriate for the different classes of prisoners and the different methods of treatment shall be established at every institution in order to encourage good conduct, develop a sense of responsibility, and secure the interests and cooperation of the prisoners in their treatment. There shall be a system of equitable remuneration of the work of prisoners. Under the system, prisoners shall be allowed to spend at least a part of their earnings on approved articles for their own use, and to send a part of their earnings to their family. The system should always provide that a part of the earnings should be set aside by the administration, so as to constitute a saving fund to be handed over to the prisoner on his release. Services and agencies, governmental or otherwise, which assist released prisoners to establish themselves in society, shall ensure, so far as is possible and necessary, that released prisoners be provided with appropriate documents and identification papers, have suitable and work to go to, are suitably and adequately clothed, having regard to the climate and season, and have sufficient means to reach their destination and maintain themselves in the period immediately following their release. The approved representatives of the agency shall have all necessary access to the institution and the prisoners, and shall be taken into consultation as to the future of a prisoner from the beginning of his sentence. It is desirable that the activities of such agencies shall be centralized or coordinated as far as possible in order to secure the best use of their efforts. Insane and mental abnormal prisoners, persons who are found to be insane, shall not be detained in prisons, and arrangements shall be made to remove them to mental institutions as soon as possible. Institution personnel. The prison administration shall provide for the careful selection of every grade of the personnel, since it is on their integrity, humanity, professional capacity, and personal suitability for the work that the proper administration of the institution depends. The personnel shall possess an adequate standard of education and intelligence. Before entering on duty, the personnel shall be given a course of training in their general and specific duties, and be required to pass theoretical and practical tests. And institutions which are large enough to require the service of one or more full-time medical officers, at least one of them, shall reside on the premises of the institution or in its immediate At 10%, we would take it home. I would try one more time to make the tips. That's pretty slow. Those missiles inferior. I fucking know it. They playing dirty. Ah, fuck you. I'm out of here. Your missile's not strong enough. Alright, take a shower. My ass hurt. because I got the straight motherfucking giggles on something that's fake fiction and not real. Win, lose, or draw. This ain't no stalemate. Somebody gonna lose this argument. Pause for a minute. I got that pause. Boop, boop. Let's look around. I might find me some contraband somewhere. Hello, man. I acknowledge Wisconsin Quest. Wisconsin Quest is Equal Employment Relations Commission task for Wisconsin Employment Relations Commission. Another flamboyant lollipop. That's all. Another cherry sucker. Another living lie an hour later. That's all they is. But again, win, lose, or draw. This ain't no stalemate. I'm bittersweet. After sucking on my what? My motherfucking bittersweetness. You know, if a motherfucker read chapter economics, you would know the collective bargaining for attorney jobs. That you should have studied English the right way instead of drinking a beer. That 800 and stirs your motherfucking ass crazy on brown rice. So again, you can't tell me it's the Santa Claus when everybody knows it's the Dr. Claus. You can't tell me it's a Dr. Claus when you know it's a Star Wars. You have to put some emphasis to your definition on what's really going on with the kind of books. That means I don't believe fiction. Oh, hearsay. You gotta be on the right hitter of facts. You gotta teach me the facts of life before you try to paint me a picture that's fiction. And again, in an argument, when I speak to a female, she don't elude me with witchcraft. And she tell me that grandma got ran over by a reindeer, I already believe it. Cause I say, man, you put in my tail when you know damn well I don't have a Duke tail like a Duke devil. You gonna wear nothing but your breath and a lot of hydrants when talking to me. I'm gonna have to buy you some clear water. I'm gonna have to get you some Vivian water. That's the only conversation you gonna win is me investing in something that's fiction. Because I be interested in the conversation something that's adventurous. I don't like a boring conversation. If you're schizophrenic, try to paint a dream to me that don't exist in conversation. I'm interested to keep buying you the fruity juice you need to keep you within your filibuster as schizophrenia. Where antisocial trait with minor symptoms. So female don't deter me in conversation. I kind of seek the conversation to see what you want. If you not adventurous or exciting, I'm just keep feeding you liquids. So you can continue to tell me your future schizophrenia. Dreams do come true. You might make me see the light on TAC that you possess. Because TAC do make you hallucinate about Alice in Wonderland. All you gotta do is click your white stockings 3 times and we can see the bedroom. You don't even really gotta talk no more. You could just click the heel 3 times, get your head to the bed. We get it over with, then you can stop talking on schizophrenia. Facts. You only talk to me for one reason. You like me. You like to try to deteriorate infirmity. You like the childless and sickness and health and death do us apart. You like that challenge that you know you're gonna lose in the morning time when it comes to brushing your teeth, taking a shower, painting your nails, washing your clothes, and doing your push-ups and doing your sit-ups. You seek the challenge to lose. That's all. Facts. Holla at you.
Yeah, here you go. What kind of milk are you talking about? Excuse me? Here, take this.
All my baby come through. It's a spaceship, I got stars on the roof. Knew me in the past and now you say I'm brand new. Feeling like a dawn when I'm out the 42. Bring a couple friends with you, baby, come through. All my baby come through.
It's gonna get real toasty. Somebody hiding. Come on, y'all. Let's do this. I knew he was coming. Damn. This motherfucker. Oh, here. Short motherfucking man, black. Stop snitch. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's go, man. Come on, man. Move, move, move. I got all y'all to say what's happening, man. So all mine. I don't make no motherfucking sense. This shit get his dick sucked. I know you're supposed to have died. You died probably many times at a dream. It wasn't nothing but a dream. But you need to move. Oh, shit. Where the rest of them at? I'm about to throw up. Shit. Be quiet. Just a little pinch. Just a little pinch. Little pinch. Come on, man. Wake up. I'm about to throw up. Come on, man. Let's stop the neighborhood, see what's got his mojo. Right.
This is Damocles. Attack the enemy base and take out all required targets. Good hunting. Good job, Viper 2. Excellent shooting. One down. Incoming AA fire. Combat zone is hot. We got incoming. Good shooting. That's a kill. Defend the position. Target destroyed. Good shooting. Taking heavy fire. Target destroyed.
Make some motherfucking noise.
Imposing heavy cruiser, but she'd been crippled during the Battle of Leyte Gulf and sent to Japan for repairs. Even so, she was so damaged that she could not make the return trip alone. It was December of 1944, and with her escort, the destroyer Ushio, she steamed for the home islands. But as they sailed across the Pacific on the evening of the 13th, they were suddenly attacked by an undetected enemy roaming the dark waters. Miyoko stopped to assess the situation. She could barely sail, and the hidden enemy could strike at any moment. Incapable of engaging in an open pursuit, the ships attempted to flee and continue their challenging trip to Japan. The enemy, however, would not let them go. Commander J.M. Hyde then looked through the periscope, and there she was, a Japanese warship at 35,000 yards, heading northeast at 14 knots. The skipper swung the boat around, all 4 engines on maximum speed, and hurried to get ahead of the enemy's track. Bergal was gaining the advantage, but the engine's vibrations forced the crew to slow down. At 7:20 p.m., they finally secured a firm contact as Bergal made the position. An hour later, the target was clearly in sight, but recognizing the impending danger of assaulting a mighty heavy cruiser and her escort, Hyde and his officers held their breath. Encounter. A submerged approach was impossible. The waters were too shallow. And to complicate matters, Bergal's aft tubes were filled with mines, rendering them unusable. An attack could only be launched from the bow tubes. Undaunted, Hyde had his vessel run under the cover of darkening skies, hoping that the enemy's radar did not pick his own too soon. The crew then noticed a window of opportunity, just as the heavy cruiser and her escort overlapped. Bergal immediately fired all bow tubes at 3,300 yards, and within seconds, the first and second torpedoes hit home, detonating into a thundering explosion.
I'm an international organization.
Miyoko stopped in her tracks, while her escort also stopped to beam. This led to the submarine's crew believing she had also been struck. Miyoko's damage was severe, with fires around the cruiser's aft turrets. However, her main body, forward of the mainmast, remained untouched, and the ship was not nearly shattered. Even so, Hyde believed the impact had been more significant. He then turned to reload for the final blow, while Ushio began setting a trap for the attacking submarine. Believing them inoperable, Bergall came in for the coup de grace, but Ushio immediately opened fire. The precise salvo tore through the forward torpedo loading trunk's hatch, piercing the submarine. Water quickly started pouring into the pressure hull. Hyde maneuvered and evaded a second pair of shells, just as Ushio snapped on a searchlight, but the submarine avoided detection. Unable to dive, Hyde fled the scene, putting as much distance between his crew and the enemy as possible. Luckily for the Americans, Ushio did not go after them. In the end, Miyoko was severely harmed, but not as much as the skipper pondered. Still able to make 6 knots, the cruiser's captain resolved to save her. Ushio would keep Miyoko on track with a tow line, given that she could no longer steer, and both began an arduous crawl to Singapore. Fight for survival. The situation was no better on board Bergall, where the crew stuffed mattresses into the hold to keep the spray out and struggled with electrical fires for a couple of days. Now that any aerial attack would have to be evaded on the surface, vigilance was redoubled, and all available guns were manned. The nearest base, Exmouth Gulf, was 2,000 miles away. In a clever decision, the skipper opted to sail closer to the coast, so that patrolling aircraft would confuse the submarine with an ordinary boat. Then, on the 15th, Bergall met with USS Angler and transferred 54 men and an officer to safety, hanging on to a skeleton crew that would attempt to take the submarine across the Karimata Strait. Hyde ordered Angler's skipper not to rescue them should they be attacked. Instead, he stated, quote, "Save your boat and the rest of my men." Meanwhile, fires raged on board Miyoko. It wasn't until the 15th, too, that the Japanese found friendly ships, but the weather was severe.
You're free to engage. AAA threat imminent. Target destroyed. Incoming SAM. AAA threat imminent. Incoming SAM. Incoming SAMs. Incoming SAMs. Incoming SAMs. Incoming SAMs. Advised gunship income SAMs. Incoming SAMs. Incoming SAMs. Incoming SAMs. Nice. Scud launcher is on the field.
Куда ехать? Вправо-влево. Мост гнилой. Балки сгнили все.
Ух ты, ёшкин ты, блядь, и второй застрял.